that what they normally do is probably not going to be enough against this Giant team. It is going to require Bill Belichick to find a wrinkle, which he probably will. Whether or not it's something that can be sustained over 4 quarters, I don't know. But he'll surprise them at some point, and they'll get a big play on something the Giants weren't anticipating. But over the long haul, I just think the Giants are a better football team right now. I really do.
So make your pick for us right now, Iron Eagle. As a fan of the NFL, you ask Iron Eagle what his favorite team is, he'll say the NFL. What is... hey, you know what? It's a well-respected response, in my opinion. What is, Iron Eagle, going to be the final score of Sunday's contest, and who will end up on top?
I think the Giants win the game, and I think they win in the 27-20 range, somewhere in that area. Whether or not it's a 27-20 with the Giants up 27-13 and the Pats get a late touchdown to make it interesting, or tight game, Giants pull away in the fourth, I don't know. But that's where I see the score, and that's who I see coming out with the Super Bowl championship, Super Bowl 46.
Iron Eagle says the Giants come away with their 4th Super Bowl trophy, their 4th Lombardi prize. Now, this one's a little out of left field, but I think it is kind of relevant considering the location, who's involved. Will Peyton Manning be a member of the Colts next season? And if not, where is he going, in your opinion?
I don't think he'll be a member of the Indianapolis Colts. I think Indy is now in complete rebuilding mode, recognizing that it's time to make a transition. Everything that he's meant to that franchise, I understand, but the financial ramifications are just too great, and the risk involved based on his physical status is too much of a concern right now. I think the Colts go in a different direction, and while it's going to be a very difficult decision, it's probably the one they have to make. If Peyton gets cleared by the doctors and he can come back and play, there are still teams out there that would take a flyer on Peyton Manning and pay the freight to do it, and it's going to cost you. He's not coming at an NFL veteran's minimum. You're still going to have to pay this guy for everything that he means for your franchise. The Washington Redskins would do it in a heartbeat. A heartbeat. Daniel Snyder would open up the bank vault.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
And welcome Peyton Manning in, and Mike Shanahan would do the same. If you're asking me what team will go after him the hardest, I think it will be them. I think the Miami Dolphins will be equally as interested, although there's no doubt in my mind they want Matt Flynn, and they visualize building their offense around Matt Flynn, considering the connection with new head coach Joe Philbin. But Washington and Miami would be the top 2 suitors, and the Jets would be a wild card just based on the curiosity factor, and we've seen it. The owner likes to collect trophies. That's just how it is. And I don't know if it would stunt the development of Mark Sanchez. At this point, I'm not sure they would even care. I think they would go all in, at least in the conversation with Peyton Manning. Now, what team would Peyton be interested in? That's a completely different story.
Yes.
You would have to assume he'd rather go warm weather. He'd rather go dome. None of the 3 teams that I mentioned qualify as a dome team. Miami does qualify as a warm weather team.
You could also think about a team like Tennessee, too. His roots are in Tennessee, being a volunteer. The fans want him
I've
there.
I've heard that, and I think they believe in Jake Locker, and I think they're going to give Matt Hasselbeck one more year, by the way, too. So I think they're comfortable with their combination at quarterback, and they believe Jake Locker is going to be a star. And you know what? The little that I've seen, and I saw him up in person close because he came in a couple of games that I did. He can play. He's got a live arm, and he is a legitimate athlete moving out of the pocket.
Don't forget, Locker was the original Andrew Luck.
That's true. He was a guy that many thought could go number 1 overall, and then took a big hit when he went back to the University of Washington. The team struggled in his last year there. He had an uneven final season, and that really hurt his draft status. Yet here he is after 1 year in the NFL, and I think if you did a redraft, he would go higher than he did originally to Tennessee.
Interesting words from Mr. Eagle there. Will you be on the call this Sunday?
On the call this Sunday will be from my living room.
That's exactly what I thought.
I've got CBS Studio over the course of the weekend, college basketball. I've got Nets games as well, so I'm juggling a bunch of assignments and excited to watch the game as a fan and looking forward to a really good matchup between these two teams.
You hear that, everyone? If you want to hear Ian Eagle, just camp outside his house, bring your tape recorder, and just try to listen in. I'm sure you could pick up, maybe with a ham radio or something, they could pick up some reception of you just giving annotations about the game. Maybe that's their best way of hearing you this Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I do project my voice, and my family finds it very annoying.
Well, as long as you don't leave the combs around the house, that's something that's something that's very important. But once again, Ian Eagle joining SportsFullCircle.com to talk about the Super Bowl. Ian, thanks so much for your time. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I know the viewers love it, the listeners love it. I always get asked whenever I talk to you, where is this man on Twitter? I know that status has likely not changed in your mind, and you will not be joining Twitter anytime soon. I'm just going to go out and assume. Am I correct still?
John, you know me well enough.
Okay, there we go.
I'm a man of conviction. I'm a bit of an iconoclast, and I like to be different. So there may come a day where I say, hey, I'm gonna join the flock, but as of now, I'm going to stick it out and just observe. That doesn't mean that I don't pay attention to it, by the way.
That's true,
I know
very
what's
true.
Going on. I'm just not an active participant.
All right, so if you want Ian Eagle on Twitter, trend it, make it happen. # We Want Eagle, something along those lines.
Yeah, good luck with the grassroots effort, John.
All right, it's a modern-day tea party, as they say. Ian, thanks so much.
John, anytime. Great to talk to you. Keep up the outstanding work.